Defendant number 1 and chief bomb maker, Timothy Jenkins. You are sentenced to imprisonment for a total of 12 years.
So, Francis, I've always wanted to ask you what drew you towards this story, to want to direct it and write it.
I'm from Africa as well, and I think from my grandfather used to visit South Africa quite a lot, and he would come back with these kind of very interesting stories. When I heard about this specific story, it appealed to me. Sometimes it can be hard to find where the drama is. I think with your story, that wasn't a problem. The problem was there was so many cool elements.
It is a very unique escape because it's essentially a technical escape. It's making keys and an evolving plan.
So I've always wondered, you've lived your life and you write this book, and then we make it into a film, and you sit down and you see Daniel Radcliffe playing you. What does that feel like?
Well, I had strangely two different reactions to it. The one was, wow, this is amazing, like a super duper actor playing me, doesn't happen in most people's lifetime. It's a very unusual thing, and I was honored. And it was quite an emotional thing, Daniel, he played the role very well. He is the same age as I was at that time. And I think he captured my character very well, in that he's not this kind of outspoken, upfront, strong character guy. I'm just a very quiet guy who kind of sussed out how the mechanics of the locks worked. And Daniel played that role, he wasn't outspoken. He showed his emotions, in those scenes where he's overcome by the stress and the strain and the nervous tension and all that. And which was real, when I looked at that, I thought, yes, I remember that moment. It's exactly like that. And then, of course, we did spend a lot of time together on the set. I helped him with the accent a bit. He captured it pretty well, it's not a perfect South African accent. I've spoken to many people who have seen the film, and a lot of them say, oh, we kind of forgot that the film was about South Africa, or that it was meant to be in the South African context. It didn't really matter to us.
We joined the prohibited African National Congress.
Yeah, I remember coming to see you in Cape Town. We had done our location recce's, and quite exciting. And then, the whole thing just almost kind of fell apart. Some of the money, in particular the South African money, sort of wasn't coming together. I think it was there, but it wasn't going to be there in time. And so on our hunt, the only kind of place that kind of checked out in terms of climate and architecture and everything was Australia. Ultimately, it was the right decision, because otherwise, we wouldn't have been filming until this October. And as you can imagine now, with all what's going on, that would have been pushed, and then it would have never been made. So I think these are the kinds of malleable decisions you have to make sometimes to get things made.
It's a local story, and people will identify with it.
In South Africa, and hopefully across Africa as well. I hope they'll resonate and see a part of African history.